Ooh, hello. Hello humans, how are you doing? It's Monday again, Monday fun day. Is every day a fun day? Maybe it is, I don't know. How are you all doing? Or not doing in this case, because you're all invisible. My day was entirely uneventful. I kind of sat in a corner and was slime-like for several hours, and then I folded myself into a bucket, and I kind of had a little wander across the floor, slid up the walls, hung off the ceiling. You know, all very kind of slimy stuff. How about you? Yeah, you did that? You ran around like a little human person, you did a little bit of human-y stuff. That's good, that's what I like to hear. You know, the world needs that kind of fun and games to really do its thing. Let's just fiddle around with this a second. And let me just double check something. Let me just have a little check. Fun and games to really do its thing. Just fiddle around with this a second. I'm sure that's good. We'll find out. And let me just double check something. Let me just have a little check. Fun and games to really do its thing. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Sorry, I just sat there fiddling around with audio channels and completely forgot that I do need to make noise. Otherwise, you'll think I'm dead. And I'm not dead. I'm definitely alive. And all the audio does what the audio is supposed to be doing. So, today, Monday, what are we doing? We're going to do some Girl by Moonlight. And I had sat there and gone, we're going to play some game. And I, of course, realised that we've only made the setting, not the actual characters yet. So, first off, we're going to have to do a little bit of a recap. So, where's the right thing? That one. Yay. Now, we've got this screen. I've been double checking what was going on, figuring out what we're doing. So, yeah. It's not right. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, there we go. Haha. It thought it had me. Oh, that's not very good. Come back down here. No? No, it only affects that. Oh. This is a problem. Can we do this? No? No? Oh dear. We're just going to have to refresh this, aren't we? Yeah. Everything goes terribly wrong when you least expect it to. 1 second, everything's fine. The next second, it's all gone to chaos. Let's open that up. Let's see if we hit the refresh button and we're all good again. I think we will be. Do 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 do. Here we go. Back once again, like the Renegade Master. D4 Damager. Power to the people. That's the one. I should get something a little back. Like I said before, I think I said this, but I should get like a little cushion to sit on, and a little palace or something, so then I can really live the dream here in the corner. But first off, what were we doing last time? Last time we had created our setting, and we were fighting against these ancient monstrous deity creatures things But we're all like your worst nightmare come to life. If your worst nightmare was like nastiness, and they what act of hubris? So a giant ship destroyed a gateway in space, and it unleashed these ancient ones. And when we're talking about ancient ones, we mean like the outer gods in Lovecraftian mythos, in the Cthulhu mythos. The Cthulhu mythos. And we're going to consume our minds and bodies, so that's not good. And mountainous perversions of nature, so they're horrible. And we're going to do what we do, but basically we're all of humanity is in like this large meteorite ship that's hurtling out of the solar system across to try and find somewhere where these monsters aren't, but they're following us. Society holds order and obedience in their highest regard, and humanity has given up intimacy and emotion. Actually, maybe, at last minute, how about we give up community? Yeah. Okay, anyway. When we had these, this is probably the bit that took up all the time last time. So we've got these giant robots, and we pilot these giant robots to fight these leviathans. And we are doomed volunteers, so we've signed up for the cause. We were originally elevated by the authorities, but we kind of changed our minds. Then we picked up protagonists. Did I put all this in a handout? No. Fine. Shoo. Oh, this one. Yeah. So we picked a group of characters. So Lillian Vera, an ace pilot and naive idealist. She can't pilot the fluttering petal because Lillian's bold and fiery spirit scares it. Character 2, Nina Marcelli, insubordinate rebel and press-ganged convict. Could be a spy. Can't pilot Corona because Nina lives in the moment and Corona lives in the past. Kira Kasumi, weary mechanic and civilian background roles. Cool. So she's not a trained military person. She's come from another background. She cannot pilot Brahma. Her calm and compassionate nature tires and fatigues it. And Tara Fatadi is a troubled captain, rejected candidate. So they've got a bunch on here, roles on here. These aren't necessarily the only roles, so I think as we put the characters into their full-on character sheets, we will faff about a bit. So, on top of that, why can't we leave? Propaganda and lies. Also, this is it. There's nowhere else to go. This is the human species now. What part of our reputation is deserved? What isn't? What part of our reputation is deserved? What isn't? Celebrated heroes, cursed warriors. Yeah, these are two separate questions. Sorry, don't want to cough in your ear. That'd be terrible of me. Awful of me. Diabolical of me. Could you possibly imagine that? Oh, I couldn't. So, the flagship is a top-of-the-line ship. A floating fortress. The flagship's name is the Avenging Fist. The Avenging Fist of Solemnity. It carries with it the last remnants of humanity as it hurtles away from the remnants of the earth, desperate to find a new home. It finds itself under constant threat and attack. Maybe the ship is so vast that there are monsters already on the ship in the less frequented levels. It's built into Ceres or some other massive asteroid. The engines. So the technology was lost to us when we fled from Earth. The engines yearn for home. They were given names by the original pilots, and they keep them now. There's probably like a whole why were they given this names thing going on. Who were the original pilots? What happened to them? Were they eaten alive by giant bugs? Probably. What happens when they transform? Lots of shiny lights and parts get added to them. How do we transgress? We transgress by acting with one another in mind. They do not abide by authority unless compelled, more like an anarchist collective. And because the only way to survive the horrifying conflict ahead is by being there for one another, which makes sense. What hope do we have? What hope do we have? What hope do we have against the leviathans? Who believes we have a chance? Who doesn't? So only the organisation claims to have hopes in us. We have to have hope, otherwise we'll have nothing. And also the civilian population of the Bastion believes in us for now. Okay, choose a name for the series. This is the those who fight against the endless terror. And yeah, then we've got notes. What else we got on here? Yeah, so we picked sync ratio as our series ability. So when you receive an assist and your action succeeds, clear one stress. When you use a link to help an ally, they gain plus 2d instead of plus 1. And we used heavy gear, so harm of level 3 or lower is fully negated. When you spend armor to resist it, you may spend your armor to improve your position for a single roll. So that's the basic playset setup. And then the antagonists. Is there anything on the antagonists that we need to talk about? Antagonists. No, this is just where we keep some notes, so that's fine. And this is the ship. Come to our ship. Load. Okay. Ship station. These are the robots. We've got Brahma, it's fierce and imperious. Vishnu is wise and tormented. Corona, it is brave and ancient. Fluttering Petal, it is serene and lonely. Cool. Now, characters. Lily and Vera. Let's get some of this out of the way because we don't need it right now. So the ace pilot and naive idealist. So that's fine. So mundane name, warrior name. Ooh, well, we'll figure that one out in a minute. Background. So we've got again. We've got to go to the book. I feel. Character generation. This is going to become the character generation channel, isn't it? Character generation, cycles of play, player agenda, core system, consequences and harm, pages, downtimes, missions, advancements, series creation, protagonist creation, choosing your playbooks. Okay. She is... What is she? She's a guardian. So if we click on the guardian... okay, so we get probably, yeah. Patient, watchful and kind, the guardian looks out for their friends. For a mundane name, choose a traditional name, a resolute name. For your true name, pick a warrior name or an iconic name. So we'll just go with, because come on, ice, yeah. So ice promises. Make each of these promises to one of the other protagonists. A promise of martyrdom and a protective promise. I'm sure somewhere it explains to me what these are. A promise of martyrdom and a promise of a protective promise. Does it tell me inside of the thingy? No. Promise. Promise you won't hurt me. Make a promise. After introductions have been made, write a promise on your sheet for each of the prompts. These promises will each include one of the other protagonists in some way. You'll earn XP during play by working towards keeping your promises. The player should share their promises as they come up with them, so everyone knows how the protagonists feel towards one another. Conflicting or impossible promises are an enduring source of drama, and reviewing each other's promise will help the group spot opportunities for tense or revealing character moments once the story gets going. Okay. Okay. Promises. A promise is an in-character statement. Each promise should do. Okay. A promise of martyrdom. I will give up my life for Van. So these are some examples. A promise of martyrdom. I will give up my life for Van when the time comes. A misguided promise. I won't let my love for Himna stop me from doing my duty. A paradoxical promise. I'll show Phelan the way things were and can be again. An intimate promise. One way or another, I'll make Van finally notice me. So I think we should use those as basic frameworks for our promises. So Lillian is a guardian. She cares about her friends. So this makes a lot of sense. So I will give up my life. I will give my life for... And it's supposed to be about one of the other characters. So let's take a quick look at them. Nina Marcelli, insubordinate rebel. Kira Kasumi, weary mechanic. Tarif Atadi, troubled captain, rejected candidate. So the Guardian feels like they'd end up wanting to protect the. What's my other promise? My other promise is a protective promise. Oh right, okay. This only has 4 of the promises. This would be really quite good if they had an example for all of the promises, because they don't. They've only got examples for a few of them. And I think this kind of thing is always for... This is where players, including myself as a ref, are like, what should I do? And you're like, I don't know. Pick something. One of them is martyrdom, one of them is protective. Martyrdom normally means you're going to die to do something. Protective means that you're not going to die and you're going to protect something, right? But because it has to be related to another person... So it's like for a martyrdom, we might go, Yeah, I mean, if I just go, I'll protect. No, I will. I'll give up my life for Nina one day. Nina, one day. Right. So, a promise. So that's a promise of martyrdom. A protective promise. I will keep Kasumi safe, no matter what. Right. So I guess the difference here is martyrdom is that she is willing to give her life. The protective promise is just I will, I'll not let you die. One of those is a lot easier to cover than another one. So looks, now we all know what we need to do here. What we need to do is we need to go and find a what's the word for it? A hobbit? A house? A fantasy generator. Seventh Sanctum magical girl creator. That's what we need. That's what we need. Generator types. Anime and manga. Because that's what we're doing. Not mecha generator. Mecha team namer. Oh. What have we got? We got a magical girl generator. So let's just let's hit that a few times and see what happens. We've got the serene magical girl's large eyes. Let's just to colour ripe cherries and a medium length, straight, thick brown hair is worn in a military style. She has an athletic figure. She has evil powers. Well, we don't need the evil powers part. Her costume is grey and orange in even proportions, and it looks like a fusion of a Shinto priestess robes and a police uniform. Cool. That sounds like that's a vibe. So let's just go like this. Then go like this. It's good enough for me. It's good enough for me. It's good enough for her. If it's good enough for her, it's good enough for you. There'll be no judgment here. And then her costume is grey and orange. Well, I think they'll all be wearing. Let's just use this as a. It's a. So their uniform. This is just like in general. Their uniform. Let's note this down somewhere. General, right? Edit. Right. Campaign. Their uniforms are grey and orange in even proportions and look like a fusion of a Shinto priestess's robes and a policewoman's uniform. Cool, top bananas. We're down for that. It's either that or it's a jumpsuit, isn't it? I mean, come on. It's either going to be a in a mecha anime, it's, some kind of either sensible like a spacesuit or silly like a police uniform that looks like a Shinto maid. This is perfectly rational. Not maid. Shrine maiden. Sorry. Top bananas. Next, where's this book gone? The Guardian. What do we do? What do we do and where do we do it? Oh, that's the Enigma. I need the Guardian. Where did the Guardian go? Click on here. Right. Will you? You can finish. So when you play the Guardian, you can earn XP when you address a challenge with kindness or self-sacrifice. Let your friends stir up trouble, and when they get in over their heads, you can finish what they started. Will you hold true to your code? Who depends on you? Who can you go to when you need help? So I'm those are probably 3 questions that she needs to answer. Well, at least 2 of them. Who depends on you? I mean, we play to find out, right? Promise. We've done with promises. We already have the eclipse move written down on here, I think. Gaining XP, transcendent abilities, player agenda, eclipse move, eclipse move, eclipse, 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 no eclipse. Ah, eclipse. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. When you eclipse, your shining example is not enough. The world is rotten to its core, corrupted by those too weak-willed to follow even the simplest rules. The slightest breach of your code must be met with uncompromising justice. Punish them until they repent. You escape the eclipse when someone shows you something pure and beautiful, and you set aside your crusade. So you've got to read this out whenever you explode. That's a thing. I kind of feel that this adventure will be very much split into 2 parts, right? Because the conflict between the pilots of the engines and the leviathans is kind of pretty, I feel, in its core, whenever it occurs, black and white. You're attempting to destroy one another in order to save yourselves or protect the bastion. Whereas the conflict internally in the bastion and with other organizations is likely to be where the characters get tested, right? Because you're going to be let down by the human beings, you're not going to be let down by the Leviathan, because the Leviathan is trying to eat you. It's hard to be disappointed by something that's trying to eat you. Oh no, look, you failed to eat me, I'm so upset. Exactly, right? We're down with that. As long as I'm not getting feasted on, they can be as incompetent as possible, but it's the humans we've got to worry about. Next thing that we need to do. Where, Delilah? Are you hiding? I don't need this open, so we'll close that. I don't need this window open, so we'll close that. I don't need this window open, so we'll close that. I need all these open. So, 1, 2, 3. So you see now why I have to do this online, talking to myself out loud. Because if I don't, I will just entirely lose the track of what I'm doing, and it'll be a nightmare. Cool. So you begin with honor bound, and then choose. So where are we? Eclipse. Good. We found our eclipse. Gathering information questions. Those are written down on the sheet. Yeah, gathering info. So, starting actions, we start off with 1 in defy and 1 in perceive. So that's good. That's what it is. Up here, 1 in defy, 1 in perceive. Our special abilities. You begin with honor bound and you may choose 1 more. So we can choose 1 more of these special abilities. Watchful, when you protect an ally, take a +1d to your resistance roll. When you gather info to anticipate possible threats. In the current situation, you gain +1 effect level. Right. You don't have to feel it. You reduce all penalties from harm by 1 level. Level 4 harm is still fatal. Constant care. When you help a friend recover, you also recover based on your role. When you gather info, you can always ask who is hurting for free. Right. When you help a friend recover, you also recover based on your role. So that's pretty cool. So that means for one heal, you get 2 stress heals, because you get your own and you get the other person. Here for you, you may expand your special armor to resist consequences suffered when you protect an ally, or to give plus 1d to someone else's action. Okay, so we can use our armor. We can sacrifice our armor to give an extra d, or whilst we're protecting someone. Fine. Righteous. When you confront a deadly foe, they are humbled by your bravery. Well, that's not going to happen. So, we're not taking that one. This gives us watchful, you don't have to feel it, constant care, here for you. So, I like the constant care one, but I feel like we might get some others to do that. Here for you. Yeah, I like here for you. I like that kind of extending your expending your armor to protect someone else, or expending your armor to help them achieve something. Right? That's cool. You know, you always see it a lot in magical girl shows where like they'll create their magical bubble, the enemy will be firing their laser beams in, and then the other character desperately finishes off making their spell and then destroys the enemy. So that's that. Transcendent abilities. Choose one of these abilities when you create your character. They can only be used when you're transcended. Indomitable. You suffer at most 2 stress when resisting consequences, and get plus 1d when rolling eclipse. Okay. How dare you? When you strike back against someone who has harmed one of your friends, gain plus 1. That's pretty good. When you assist or set up a teammate, they mark 1 segment on their recovery clock. This is going to get into a whole bunch of things about clocks and all sorts of nonsense. So this means you're able to restore back into the fights quicker. This is how dare you? When you strike back against someone who is hit with your friends, gain 1 effect. If your action succeeds, recover 1 stress. So that's an opportunity to reduce stress. And that is this character, I think, completed. Let's go up and check. Choose a role. So she is the ace pilot and the naive idealist, true believer. Read the XP Eclipse sections of the book as well as the promise prompts. Yeah, we've done that. Touchstone inspiration. Yeah. Other players. Okay. Character creation overview. We've done that. Record role and background. We've done that. Detail your obligation. Oh, we haven't done that. No, in fact, record role and background. You also choose an origin for all your characters, and one or 2 roles you wanted your particular character to play in the group, and in the group and in the story. Write those choices down in the role and background sections of your book. You should also feel free to rephrase or add these choices as your ideas about your character development. So, role is the ace pilot, right? So ace pilot, that sounds good. And their background. So their background is descendant of a proud military family. Family. Is that how you spell? Background is naive. 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 There we go. Naive descendant of a proud military family. Obligations. Write down the group's shared obligation in your playbook and add a detail that's specific to your character. For example, if the protagonists are all at high school, maybe one of them is the class president, and another might be a teacher or a janitor. The group's obligation, so this is the example now, the group's obligation are university students. So Claire notes her obligation as a music student. She imagines her character being forced to play state-approved music, but loving some new underground style that is tied to the revolution. What's our obligation? I mean, I think our obligation will be the military command, right? Is military command and academy. Cool. And this makes me feel like I need a random table. What's this one got? Generators, characters. Quick. No, not character. Character scrambler. This one doesn't help. Darkness, evil, combats, writing, skills, abilities, and traits. We will go for questionable anime powers. That's a thing. Personalities, moods. No. Technology, spells, grimoire. What I really need is a book that I don't have out. That's what I need. Or I need Foundry, which I don't have turned on. So both of those are not going to do it. So what do we think about this one? Defy, perceive. They're naive, idealistic. They come from a military family. So their obligation is to class. So they're obligated. They are. So they're all going to have to be in the same organisation. The question is, are they military folks? Well, they got to be. So military command and academy. Her obligation will be though yeah. Okay, military academy. She is the class president. To hell with it. President. No, she's going to be sporty, right? Star player on the space ball team. There we go. That's what we want. That's her obligation. Cool. Detail the obligation. Assign action ratings. Your character starts off with 2 action point ratings assigned. Choose a third point with my number. So because this is forged in the dark and rolling 1d6 is the worst, we need to make one of these a 2. And defy is the answer, because they are, of course, the head of the star player on the Spaceball team. So that's what's going on there. Let's check something cool. So that's that, right? I think that's that. Choose special and transcendent abilities. We've done that. Create secondary characters. Okay. So there are two. Every character gets two secondary characters. Secondary characters. We will have Millie, a girl in the academy who always in trouble with, who is always a girl in the academy who is always getting picked on by the staff, because staff are bastards. And we will have Saffron, a girl who is the space ball captain of the team, and has a friendly on-off rivalry with Lillian. Yeah. So these two staff of a Lillian both like the same anime on TV. So they both like the same anime, and so Lillian gets in trouble for her. So those are the two secondary characters. We've named the character, and we've made some promises, and yeah, so introduce this character. My name is Lillian Vera, codename Ice. I'm an ace pilot. I come from a long line of proud military successors. I will give my life for Nina one day, and I will keep Kasumi safe no matter what. She has serene magical girl. I don't think she's serene. Is she serene? Maybe she is. No, she's not. This excitable, fidgety, magical girl. Magical girl's large eyes are the colour of ripe cherries, and her medium-length, straight, thick brown hair is worn in a military style. Thank you very much. She has an athletic figure. This makes sense because she is the head, and the head of the star player on the Spaceball team. Cool. She is. You live by a code. Your code forbids all but one of the following. Oh my word, okay. Violence, lying, admitting fault, asking for help. Okay. Well, I feel like admitting violence is a bit of a problem for the setting. So, violence is the one admitted thing. Because otherwise she is gonna have a problem, right? Violence is always the answer. We know this. You know this. Everyone knows this. Violence is always the answer. If they tell you it's not, they're lying. It's always the answer. At least if you're a magical girl. Okay, cool. Top bananas. So that's her. We're 47 minutes in. So, here we go. Let's make her shrink. Shrink over here. Nina Maselli, who is an outsider. Okay, top bananas. True name, rebel. Come on. An insubordinate rebel, press ganged convict. Fascinating. Insubordinate rebel, seems to be that one. Press ganged convict. Background. Is a political dissident. Her family and her were kept in a camp. There you go. Obligation. So again, the military academy, military command and academy. Her obligation is to make trouble, right? Resist the patriarchy, baby. Make trouble. That's what she does. A promise to your rival, a competitive promise. Who is her rival? And who is... See, that's a competitive promise, because I would feel that she would view Lillian as her rival. But why would you bother making a competitive promise with somebody who wasn't your rival? It seems a bit weird. Let me just check something. Can they have a promise, two promises with the same character? Let's just have a look at their examples. They may not have an example. Make a promise. So here's an example again. After hearing all the introductions, Claire considers what to write for her promises. While she's contemplating her options, Dylan proposes to Anya that Fawn be Hawk's rival. Anya replies, "Sure, but I'm playing the Enigma, so maybe only one side of my character is your rival. Are we rivals in our mundane lives, or when Fawn is Midnight Quill?" That's a good thought. I like the idea of that her rival is with Midnight Quill. I've got a promise of rivalry in my prompts, so maybe it's something like, "I swear to capture that meddler Midnight Quill." Is that so? Well, I'm going to have an intimate promise. I will confess to my love, Hawk. Okay, I see where that one's going. Dylan laughs. That's perfect. Hawk's in for a surprise either way. The dynamic between Fawn and Hawk sparks Claire's imagination, and she thinks how Raven might play a role in the drama. One of her prompts is two conflicting promises. So she writes, "I will help Hawk find love and keep Fawn's secret." Okay. Donk. So you can have multiple promises for the same character, right? So a promise to your rival, and a competitive promise. A promise to... I'll wait on those, because this, again, as noted, is probably... I understand it, I just find it the most difficult part of this kind of thing. So we want another fighty girl. The confident magical girl has narrow brown eyes and very short, straight, silky green hair worn in an artistic style. Cool. That'll do. Cool. Now she gets to pick one more of these. So we have a defy already. So we'll have an express level 2. And she gets something to prove. Choose another protagonist to be your rival. You always have exactly one rival. The rival, of course, as already mentioned, is Lillian 1L? Or, yeah, 1L. Lillian Vera is her rival. So, a promise to your rival. I promise to take Lillian down a peg or two and show her she's no better than me. A competitive promise. Don't know. Next, we get one of these. Reckless. When you make a desperate roll, you may choose to get +1d for the roll. If you also take a -d, 1d for any psyche race. So as you get +1d for a roll, then you get -1d for a resistance as a consequence. Fine. Jaded. You may expend your special armor to resist any consequence of your rival's actions, or to act before your rival does. Fair enough. Pathetic. When you gather info, you can always ask, where's my rival and what are they doing, for free. If your rival is about to suffer fatal harm or fall into eclipse, you can choose to be there to protect them, regardless of the circumstances. That's a good one. I like that one. Old loyalties. I love it. See, I think this is all my problems with Forged in the Dark, but I still think this is a great system. Well, a great game, anyway. The group's adversaries are not immediately hostile to you, and you can interact with them as peers. What role did you once play? No. Anything you do, I do better. When you assist your rival, you grant them a +2d and take 2 stress. If you refuse your rival's help, or they refuse yours, mark 1 XP. I like Pathetic. I think that's cool. I think that's fun. Okay. 2 characters. Well, she's going to have Colonel, not however Colonel spell. Colonel Rogers. Colonel Rogers, her parole officer, her guardian. Her guardian in the outside world. Also, her handler. Next, who's the second character gonna be? Who we got? Wait. We'll have Terra, the class president who is trying to reform her. For student council, morals and ethics head. Yeah, who's trying to reform her. Fair enough, that sounds good. Top bananas, that's a thing. Next, I think that's everything apart from this competitive promise. it's got to be with a character. So it's got to be a main character. I don't know. We'll come back to that. Everything else is done. Oh no, we've not got a transcendent ability. So transcendent abilities, brutish. When you push yourself, choose one of the following additional benefits. Perform a superhuman feat of physical force, destroying an obstacle between you and your rival. Oh, okay, right, yeah, cool. This one's mine. Once you engage a foe, neither of you may back down until one of you is defeated. While you are engaged with your foe, only your rival can assist you, and other foes will not interfere. Your rival may take your place at any time, but must finish what you started. Interesting. Interesting. So this would, because this implies that the leviathans would also hyperfixate, right, on the individual, which I think can make sense given their, Lovecraftian mythos, dark god stuff, right? Did audio just end? Audio came to an end. Let's have a look for something else from the same channel, Ambient Eyes. They said in their thing that it was fine to use their ambiences for stuff, but we'll find out if they steal all of the no money that is made on the channel. I'll just hit that button again. I think we just do the same loop. It was nice and relaxing. Cool. Right. I've got to actually play games with human beings tomorrow. I don't know if I want to do it anymore. I just want to play. I want to play bits and pieces on here with the pretend people that don't exist. We were going to pick this one is mine. Two characters. There's just this promise left. I don't know what to do with it yet. We'll figure it out. Kasumi. Cool. Weary mechanic civilian. See, I don't think that's a very cool one. It's just harmony. So her background is a normal civilian background. Completely unexciting. Sighting. ... Whatever could it mean? Roll. Kind of like the mum of the group, who of course they're all the same age, but the squad mum. So she brings all the sweets and the stuff when they have to do things. So something else I'm having as an idea when we run this, because we're probably not going to get to do it today, but when we do next week, I'll probably focus one character per episode, right? So they'll all be in it probably in each episode, but we'll rotate through the characters. I think we will give empathize or forgive. Empathize or forgive? It's a good question. I think we'll go with... So let's just read out the descriptions of those two first. Obligations, clocks, gathers, things, houses, So forgive, when you forgive, you show but you care for someone despite a mistake that they have made. You might offer a chance of reconciliation to a friend that wronged you. You might embrace a monster that was once human. Yada yada yada. You could try to offer an olive branch to someone to gauge their feelings. The other one is empathize. So empathize. When you empathize, you understand. I think empathize is the other one, right? We should give empathize that extra point. So let's do it. Empathize. Obligation. So military command and academy. She is art club president. No, art club member. Then one of the characters can be Shane, art club president. She has a secret crush on him. Right? That's an easy one. And we'll go the second one. Lily, younger sister. Okay. Promises. A shared promise and two conflicting promises. These promises are a real pain in the backside, aren't they? We'll think about that later. Special abilities. You are... So her default one is in harmony. You are a relationship. Two people whose love has bound them into a single form and identity. Should you ever be separated, all actions you make are desperate until you are reunited. You roll 1d to gather info about relationships. What? In harmony. You are a relationship. Two people whose love has bound. Oh, right. Two people whose love has bound them into a single form and identity. Should you ever be separated, all actions you make are desperate until you are reunited. That's weird. Okay. Bear that in mind. So split attention. You may take an additional action in each downtime phase because we're two people. Inseparable. You may expend your special armor to resist any consequence that would impact your relationship with others or within yourself, or to magically appear from within your allies. Wow. Okay. So you can spend a point and then pop out of their chest or something. That's a thing. Synchronized. When you are involved in a group actions, you may count multiple sixes from different roles as critical success. When leading, you may take at least one stress regardless. I don't understand that one. Bonds of love. You start each downtime with two links with yourself. Fair enough. You humans. Self-love. Perfect pitch. Your voice is polyphonic and eerily beautiful. Your allies can always hear you speak, regardless of distance or other interference. When you sing to inspire your allies or soothe... Oh, wow, that's for one. Fair enough. That's for one. That's got to be one. That's yeah. Transcendent abilities. Powerful presence. When you transcend, your scale increases, and your effect level changes accordingly where size is a factor. As 1. When you lead a group action or receive an assist while transcended, you briefly incorporate others into your harmony. You may roll the highest action rating among all participants instead of your own action rating. Okay. Beacon. Once per transcendence, you may uplift your allies with a speech or a song. That one. Tick. Okay. See, here. We've just made rank elite, so you know this has to happen. So we'll get rid of a younger sister. We'll do Fitzgerald, her older, adopted brother guardian, who also serves in the military. Dot. Okay, and she wants to be an idol. Okay, that's a thing. Look. Look. This silly in her eyes. Let's just go with the top one. Or maybe this one. Well, that's yeah. Okay. How about this one? This one. This is the one. The innocent magical girl. This innocent magical girl has deep green set eyes and waist-length, wavy, thick indigo hair worn in an artistic style. That one. See, I also like the fact that all I can be blamed for is the fact that I picked these descriptions. I didn't make them. It wasn't me. It's nothing to do with me. Blame the computer. It was the computer's fault, not mine. I kind of have a splitting headache coming on as well, which is upsetting. But we'll keep on going. We'll finish this. We'll finish this so we can play next week. A shared promise. A shared promise with someone else because it's shared. Or is it a shared promise with myself because I'm two people? Two conflicting promises. Let's have a quick read of this harmony again because I'm a bit confused. Let's find harmony. There is the harmony. Two voices speaking as one, a beacon of hope. Confident, earnest, and attentive, the harmony is an inspiration to their allies. They understand the power of relationships better than anyone else because it is their power. The harmony can be a booming presence leading the way or lift other voices that have gone unheard. When you play a harmony, you earn XP when you address a challenge with understanding or coordination. Your voice can keep hope alive and you are never truly alone. Which parts of yourselves do you share with others? Which are yours alone? How will you... true name. True name will be... So their true name is a musical name or a beautiful name. I find his name... the annoying thing, of course, is we've probably taken the best one, right? Harmony. There you go. What else could it be? I mean, it's not going to be scales, is it? It's not what they're thinking about. They're not thinking about, look here comes the magical girl Scales. Oh, Scales is flying again. Music terminology. Is there anything good in music terminology? Anything that I can say? Symphony, maybe. Aria. There you go. Problem solved. Aria. Aria. Cool. Promises. A shared promise. Has it got examples of promises on here? Your eclipse. Special abilities. Transcendent ability. This section could really just do an example of promises to help for simple among us. Because a shared promise. Two conflicting promises. Because I'd be like, I have to think about that. Everything else filled in? Everything else is filled in. Okay. And the last one, ttrpg. Rejected candidate for what? I mean, it's like rejected candidate, but here she is. So, role, wing commander. Background. 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 Failed experiment created by the science organization. Obligation. Student council president. Promises, a promise of growth and a misguided. So she's a stranger. A promise of growth. I will help Nina become all that she can be. A misguided promise. I will help Nina. No, I will help. A misguided promise. Because I always feel like this could be... Because then I just end up giving both of these to the same person again. And I'd much rather have a web of relationships than two unidirectional. Like, you see what I mean. A misguided promise. A promise of growth. I know. I will help Kita become an idol despite the military's wishes. The military's and her brother's wishes. There we go. That's one. A misguided promise. I will help Nina adapt to society. Yeah, okay, good. Right, so, cool. Let's roll ourselves a description. Here we go. Serene magical girl, sensual magical girl, mystical magical girl, confident magical girl. Have I already used this one? Confident magical girl has narrow brown eyes, short, straight, silky green hair. I think I have. Let's let's hit this. Let's hit this again. Generate more magical girls. Oh, there we go. That's her. She is confident magical girl's slanted eyes are the colour of ripe plums. Her neck-length, wavy, thick hair is the colour of fine silver and is worn in a dignified style. That's a winner. Cool. Next. Special abilities. Oblivious. So our default one is you cannot make a connection or help a friend recover in downtime. When you roll obligation, always roll stars. When you investigate, take a +1. Okay, so we think we're going to have analyze based off the back of that. Oblivious. You may expend your special armor to resist the consequences of emotional trauma, or to completely be completely overlooked until you take direct action. Okay, yeah. Safe distance. You can make a connection and help a friend recover by leaving anonymous gifts. When you do so, take +1d. If you watch them receive the gift, you can ask their player one question from their from their gather info list. Okay, that's quite cute. I like that. That's funny. No sleep. During each downtime phase, you get 2 ticks to distribute among any long-term project clocks. Whenever you complete a project, mark XP. That's cool. Extra downtime ticks are always cool. Things feel. You can empathize with non-human things as if they were people. If you use this to gather info, you may ask questions from any playbook currently in play. Well, isn't that one interesting? Know-it-all. You have encyclopedic knowledge on a topic. Take +1d when you gather info relating to those topic to your chosen topic. Take this ability again to choose an additional option. Available topics are like plants, animals, magic rituals, engineering, ancient lore, pop culture. I think Oblivious is probably a good one to start with, because the ability to reduce trauma is good, and the ability to be completely overlooked until you take action is really good. Right. So that's good. We'll do that. And later on, all of these seem funny. So, yeah. Ex Machina. When you push yourself, choose one of the following additional benefits. You compel non-human things around you to hinder or distract your foes. You compel the environment to change itself to suit your need. That's interesting. Deeper understanding. When you gather info, gain +1 effect. When you transcend ally, when a transcended ally acts on the information you provided, they gain +1 link with you. Okay, interesting. Here's one I prepared earlier, right? Once per transcendence, you may activate a flashback without spending stress. To create a device that does one of the following: allows an escape, reveals unexpected information, creates an opportunity for an ally. Those are all really good. When you gather info, gain +1 effect. When a transcended ally acts on that information you provide, they gain 1 link with you. Ex Machina. This is cool and this is cool. I like both of these. In fact, I like all of these 3. This is probably like the best stacked. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to pick. Because they're all really good. How about deeper understanding? Well, yeah, let's take deeper understanding because she's going to be doing a lot of stuff. Okay, 2 characters. Dr. Yamato, the man who created, he is in a life support pod as he is ancient, and a member of the council. The other one will be the other one will be Dr. Yamato, a man. That's fine. Second character. Let's go here. Do 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 do. Generate more people. I know. We'll go Pris, member of a punk rock band that plays in a dive bar near the artificial river. Also a senior in the academy. Yeah. So, true name. So, an alien name, an unnerving name. Lucifer. Okay, cool. So, we still have Nina's a competitive promise and both of Kita's. But I think she can have a competitive promise with Atadi, right? So competitive promise. I'm not trying to attract your cat. It's fine. You're okay. I don't steal cats anymore. It's not a thing I do. No cat stealing here. Ooh. What? When did I do that? How long have I been wearing my little outfit? I don't know. When did I? Very strange. So, she'll take her rival down a peg. Or maybe she'll just have a competitive promise with a promise that I will I promise that I will not eat cat food. Won't I? Okay. I promise that I will not eat cat food. Or fish. Something like that. No, I promise that I'll... It's a competitive promise. Because it has to be with a character. And I don't want it to be with the same character twice, because I feel like that's just dumb. So, I promise that I'll... So, she is student council president. She is for wing commander. She is... I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a competitive promise. I'm not a competitive person. It's hard for me to think of these kinds of things. I'm not, you know, I'm a slime. I don't do competitive. Well, apart from my deep, deep desire to become the greatest dungeon master to have ever existed. Other than that, I don't have one. None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Negative numbers of promise. Super negative numbers of promise. I don't promise anything at all. It's not something. Let's check. If I was a ginormous hamster. So, a shared promise. Two conflicting promises. So, I mean, two conflicting promises will be, I promise to help, I promise to help Tariff help Nina to assimilate. I promise to help Tariff. I promise to help Nina I promise to help Nina. I promise to support Nina. Support Nina be who she needs to be, right? Okay, so that's two conflicting promises. A shared promise. I don't know what this one means. This shared promise to me doesn't feel like it makes any sense. What do we mean? So we've got someone here who, in their example, shared. They have no shared. Doesn't get mentioned ever again. No, it's only ever mentioned in this person's description, and I hate it. I hate it. A shared promise. So I'm presuming. No. Does anyone even have a promise with her? So, because I mean, a competitive promise. I don't. This is rubbish. I don't like it. I don't understand. I don't see. So she can't be competitive with Kita because Kasumi doesn't have a competitive element to her, right? It's like, I promise to be more what, right? It doesn't. It could work with Tariff, but it can't because they don't rotate in the same competitive fields, right? So there's nothing that that Nina could do, and vice versa. That competitiveness is a binding factor, and Lillian. She's already got Lillian down as her rival, which makes sense. So I don't see them being. I don't see this being anything to do with her, with Lillian. So I might just ignore the prompt because I don't like it, and I don't see how, unless I make someone else her rival, but I don't think that anyone else, unless Tariff is her rival, right? Because then the promise to her rival is that she'll take her down a peg or two, and then her competitive element is with Kasumi. Okay, let's do that. That solves this problem. Tariff. So, in fact, Lucifer is her rival, right? So because there's no secret identities in this. This isn't like Sentai Power Ranger stuff. This is, they go to the thing, they put on their suits, they get into the spaceship, they fight the monsters, they come home. Much more like Gundam. Or Knights of Sidonia is in fact a better reference, except if they go Super Saiyan mode, and everything's really exciting. I promise it'll be really exciting, 100%. Don't think it won't be. It will. It will be super exciting. So now her right. So we rewrite this to be Tariff. So which Tariff to Tardy. Cool. Of course, the irony here is that Tariff pretends to be an exemplary representative of everything, but actually she's a failed experiment. The insubordinate rebel, they should in fact be natural allies, but they aren't, because they both think, well, at least Nina thinks that the council president is a goody two-shoes, and Tara thinks that Nina is ungrateful, right? So, with that, yes, we can now go Nina. Well, Nina, I promise to beat. I promise to give Nikita, Lillian, give Lillian a worthy competitor. Right? They're rubbish, but as I've no doubt hammered on now, but I'm not very good at these kinds of bonds and wishes and interlinks. I'm a slime. So yeah, that gives us 4 pilots who are all interlinked. So Utadi is linked to Kita, well, linked to Kasumi, and is linked to Nina. Nina is linked to Tarif and Lillian. Kasumi is linked to a loading page. Kasumi is linked to... Oh, she doesn't have the shared promise yet, because I don't understand what it means. Okay. I promised to help Tarif, help Nina to assimilate. I promised to help Nina be who she needs to be. Right, and we don't understand this one. So we'll just pretend it doesn't exist until we feel like we have some inspiration. And then Lillian is linked to Kasumi and Nina. Right? That is ideal. Perfect. Have we we've all got that. Okay. Did we do... Yeah. Everyone's got two secondary starting characters that we've created. Yeah. 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 Cool. Well, that's that. I think we'll wrap up this work here so we can finally next week start playing, doing something. That'll be cool. Well, let's just check my little schedule. So we've got a square schedule and everything. Oh, almost like some kind of processional stremmer, but not really. Where's that gone? Downloads? No, those are... Oh, that's not how a computer works. Not that one. Pictures? Do. This one? No. That's not the one. Oh, I know where I put it. Because I put everything in the same place. Not there. Not there. Down one. Up one. Up one. Yeah, this one. Is this it? This is it. Can I just drag it and drop it? I can. Like so. So, this is the rest of this week. Donk. So, today's Monday. Tomorrow's nothing, because I'm supposed to do something in the real world. Run some Fate. That kind of thing. Then Wednesday, we will play some more of the Lost City. We'll see where we get with that. Thursday, we'll play Urban Shadow, 2nd edition. That should be fun. Friday, Pendragon, probably. If not, OSC again, and we'll carry on with Velocity, or something else with a bit more fighting, so we can use that Tailspire. Saturday, we're off. Mostly because I play Shadowrun in the evening. Sunday fun day. A few hours over Sunday afternoon. And who knows what we'll do in. One thing we do need to do is look again at the Scuff venture we were putting together. So I've got all the notes on that. One thing I do need to think about is how we collectively share stuff between us. We don't need this up anymore. Yes. So how can I get you like the character sheets that I've made and the other bits and pieces, so that you can see what we've done. You can read it at your leisure, and where we can find stuff like the scuff ventures and other bits and pieces that we do. So yeah. Anything else? How are you doing? I hope you've done well. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you have a great Monday evening, afternoon, however it goes. Yeah. Enjoy. It's been wonderful again for me to sit here and actually get things done. And I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And we'll not see each other again on Wednesday. So, without further ado, I will bid you farewell. And have fun. Be good, my little humans. You know, be really good. Bye bye.